Next up, we have Golden Nocturne, instrumental from the Umineko When They Cry or Umineko no Naku Koro ni soundtrack. Yes, once again, everybody, this is a Bastards LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, what about the videos, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. Also, two ways that we're celebrating 10,000. Again, we're celebrating 10,000 subscribers. Thank you again for that. Two ways. Number one, I'm giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. And number two, we're going to start playing some of the games that we covered now in celebration of 10,000, 50,000, so on and so forth. First two are going to be just Shapes and Beats. Second one is going to be Limbus Company. More info on that on the spiel at the end of this video, so stick around for that. With that said, let's do this. Golden Nocturne, let's go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we start with a pipe organ giving us that very stereotypical introduction where the pipe organ is just building up a massive chord. Usually that is a use of instrumentation or orchestration, right? So orchestration or instrumentation is the study of picking the right instruments for the right sound, the right texture, and sometimes even for the right psychological response. A pipe organ... When you talk about pipe organs, I think of this game. Nice. So a pipe organ has a very special place in human history in general, because these things are marvels of engineering and architecture. No two pipe organs are the same, and each of them you need to design entire buildings around them, which is why usually you only see the pipe organs in churches, cathedrals, symphony halls, concert halls, that kind of stuff, because these things are massive. These things, there's no way any one individual could ever hope to build, let alone maintain one of these alone. So that gives in our psychology, in our collective psyche, it gives us this whole sense of the higher than thou, greater than any single individual, the overwhelming hierarchy, right? So we're having we're having that happening. Like just look at the keyboard, right? Like look at how the control, like this is something that you could probably spend your entire life just trying to learn how to use and still not get it by the time you're over, right? So yeah, we're having that. Then we are switching over to drums, you know, very nice rock/metal track with a violin giving us our initial melody, which contains probably, most likely, our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Let's see where this goes. Very nice. And in the back, we have an electric guitar doing some metal riffs. So a riff is a variation that exists nowadays of what we used to call the motif, right? The motif being the smallest version of a musical idea. You put that through an ostinato, meaning that you just repeat the same thing over and over. You play that on a guitar or a bass or a keyboard or something like that, a contemporary instrument, and you get a riff. Now, motifs are extremely jealous mistresses, right? Like, these are very temperamental. If you're not constantly giving your attention and the spotlight to your motif, you risk your music starting to sound disjointed, incoherent, and just incomprehensible. Riffs are a little bit more tolerable than that. Riffs will allow you to be in the accompaniment or in the spotlight, whichever way, and it will still sound good. They do have their drawbacks because they are not as flexible to explore as motifs are, but we work with what we can, right? So we have now a riff going on with the guitar, and we have the violin doing this. Men are riffs and women are motifs. I will not confirm nor deny, especially deny. Let's see where this goes. And we immediately bring a violin, a second violin track, doing some harmonization. Harmonization, of course, being counterpoint, parallel motion. Let me break this down, right? So counterpoint being the study of melodies, how they are, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of two or more at the same time. You have the concept of motion, which is which direction and the type of direction they're heading. We have two overarching types of motion. We have single melody, which way single melodies can go, and we have multiple melodies, right? Like let's call it a multi-melody, right? Single melody and multi-melody. Single melody motion, and all of these are going to be up or down, right? Like that's the up, down, or straight. Those are the three directions you can go. And then after that, the motion you can do in single melodies, it's based on your intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes. You can have stepwise motion. Stepwise means that you're moving to whichever note is immediately next to the note that you have. So if we were to bring, let's say, the scale of C major, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C again, that's the octave, D, E, F, G, A, B. So if you count these, the way that intervals work is you count whichever note you're in as number one, and then you just count. D, 2, E, 3, F, 4, G, 5, A, 6, B, 7, C, 8, which is the octave. Then after that, you can have a 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and then after that, you just go back to the octave. However, as I said, stepwise motion is when you're doing a second, when you're moving up or down a second. So in the case of C, would be going up to D or down to B, or whichever variation of these notes we might have. Then we have leapwise motion, which means you're going anywhere beyond a step. So the stepwise motion from C, stepwise motion up, stepwise motion down. Anything that is not these, or whichever variations. Well, like in stepwise motion, you could do like an augmented second and a diminished third. For this, diminished second, augmented, diminished second, or augmented second, or full steps. Anything outside of that would then be a leapwise motion. Kind of thing, where you arpeggiate, then you have repetition, and then you have silence. Those are the four possible motions and directions that your individual melodies can go. Then after that, we have the multiple melodies, when you put multiple melodies at the same time. The one that we're talking about is parallel motion, when you have two melodies that are doing the exact same thing at the same time. So from two different starting points. So we could have like octaves. Or if you want to harmonize, harmonization is going to be done on thirds or on sixths usually, which means you're going to be doing thirds or you're going to be doing sixths. That kind of thing. And that's what we brought to the violin. We're 28 seconds in. Isn't this wonderful? Let's see where this goes. Ooh, little change there on the drums. And we now engage one of the most devastatingly effective weapons and tools that a musician could ever possibly hope to have: silence. We bring in this new melody over here, acting as a break, and my God, is it awesome. Let's see where this goes. So we repeat, and... Okay, so now we bring in our first solo. So now we're having this section being the violin solo. When you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is, however, one universal exception, no matter the style, no matter the genre, which is solos. You bring in a solo, and as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with almost anything. So right now, what are we doing? We are having the guitar playing a new riff, and we are having now the violin starting the solo, imitating the little break that we just did, bringing us a nice repetition of what we just heard, and now we're going off on the solo. Let's see where this goes. There it is again. Another variation. Different tone. Nice. Second layer above. We have a second violin. Harmonization. So now we're having another type of counterpoint motion, which is called similar motion. Or in another way that we know this is a species counterpoint. Species counterpoint is basically ratios, how many notes per note. So for example, species 1 is 1-to-1 notes. For every one note part A does, part B will do one note as well. Simple as. Then it starts getting complicated. See, species 2 is when you start 2 notes for every one note. That kind of thing. Species 3, species 4, and you can just keep building these kinds of ratios. And what are we doing? We're having the higher violin being way slower than the first one, and then we're doing a little bit of harmonization. We're mixing and matching the different ratios that we can get, and really good. Let's see where this goes. Oh, wow, that's not good. Nice hints there. What is that? Okay, so we bring in what sounds to be a flute, but it could also be a pipe organ. There are some settings in the pipe organ that can give you this kind of sound, but it could also be it could be a flute with something attached to it to give this very specific kind of sound. It's definitely something with wind, like it's using wind. My bet is gonna be that it's a flute with some kind of effect, like you just said over there. Now giving us this. Let's see where this goes. Oh! Okay, so we have a flute, and we're having it doubled by an oboe. So the flute, of course, being this beautiful instrument, the orchestral one is going to be the transversal metal flute. So it could be that we're using one of the billion friggin' variations of flute that might exist, and then we are having an oboe doing a doubling for it. Doubling again when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing at the same time. The oboe being this one, it kind of looks like the clarinet. However, the difference is in the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece of the oboe is a reed, whereas the mouthpiece of the clarinet is a similar mouthpiece as that of a saxophone. So yeah, we're having the oboe in the background. We are having a flute. We don't know which kind of flute, but it seems to be a flute. It might be, it's a type of flute. We don't know exactly which kind, but I believe I'm more leaning towards a flute. With the oboe in the background, let's see where this goes. Really good. Slowing down, building cadence, and bringing back the violin. Similar riff as we had at the beginning. Parallel motion with the violins. Slowing down the drums again. Really cool fill. Man, the drums are carrying so much of this too. The drums are carrying so much here. So, with that, yeah, you can hear how insane, like the drums doing these little variations, these little interruptions, all of these different fills and everything. It really is giving everything such a different perspective. Despite everything else remaining fairly unchanged, it goes to show how important your accompaniment is. I get to mention it. So if you want to hear a song where this happens to a ridiculous extent, listen to the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. The intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater, the guitar is doing an ostinato, so the same thing over and over. And it's 3 times, right? John, 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 John. That's it. That's everything the guitar does for 1 minute straight. Then you have the drums, the synth, the bass, they change around it. And it just completely changes how everything feels. And it's right now to a way less egregious degree. We are seeing it every once in a while with the drums just adding these sometimes not very subtle, sometimes subtle changes. And it's just Let's see where this goes. Nice ballad, nice. Harmonized. Beautiful cadence over there. And by the way, cadence, of course, when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you're resolving that tension, that point in between, we call the cadence. This just means building expectation and resolving or meeting that expectation. There's variation to this, but that's primarily what we're doing. That's why whenever you reach a certain note many times, you will be left wanting instinctively, because that's what cadences do. Let's see where this goes. Back to the violin solo section. Harmonized. Oh, I love that little break over there with the going up the scale, the guitars. Oh, and now, there's also a piano. So now we bring back the flute oboe combination and we add a piano to it. We're skating and we reach the top, so it would seem. Let's see where this goes. Welcome back, Michael's team. And Baz, welcome back. Changing the drums there, dude. That's such a... And this was inevitable. And it was a metal track, there was a guitar, and inevitably you are going to land yourself a guitar solo. Now, usually violins and oboes and everything else, these sections so far, even though they're more leaning on the solo side of things, they are still keeping a very nice consistent motif while they're doing their thing. Now we're jumping on the other side of the solo spectrum, let's call it that, and we are hearing a guitar that is going to do something completely different. It might mention, like it might do the motif here or there, but the main thing is not going to be it. Fairly common for guitars. Let's see where this goes. Harmonization there. I love it. And we get one of my favorite things in music with this guitar, holding that note. It goes past the cadence and then it resolves upward. This we call, and I shit you not, a retardation, which is the opposite way of a suspension. A retardation is a type of non-chord tone where your chords resolve and then the note stays in the previous one and then goes up. So we're talking about, let's say, this kind of thing, whereas suspension is the other way around. So yeah, retarded. Welcome back, Neptunite. So yeah, these are actual terms that exist in music. These are two types of chord tones, and this is what landed the guitar, allows it to have this extended note that then it just bends upward to resolve into the chord. Of course, I really love the mindfulness of having the solo interact with the riff below. So whenever the guitar slowed down, is because something was happening in the rhythm guitar. So that's a really cool detail. It goes to show how much more planned this solo was. So yeah, and now the violin is back. Let's see where it goes. I love the drums. We're having the piano. Now we'll have the piano improvising a little bit more. Beautiful melody. So yeah, now you can hear the piano a little bit more. You can hear the piano a little bit more, and I just love the diversity of beats we're getting from the drums. Like, this whole part we did is very power metal. Like kind of thing, like very locomotive with the double bass and everything. And yeah, we introduced the piano. It's a lot more clear this time around, and the piano is doing a lot more every time. Juicy, welcome today. How you doing? Let's see where this goes. Wait. Hit it again. Been a while, yeah. And off the ramp we go indeed. Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a specific type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do this? Remove the drums. Maybe the bass as well. This can be as short as a couple of beats. It can be as long as an entire section. Seems like this one is going to be as short as a couple of beats, so let me go back a couple of seconds, and let's just hear this in its entirety, because there's one or two ways we can head here. One is that we are now going to stay without the drums, and we're going to just slowly build everything down. Or number two, this is where the climax is going to be, and we're just bringing everything back. We did bring the organ back here, so I'm leaning towards the latter, that we are going to bring everything back with a bang. Let's see where this goes. There's the organ. Yep. Oh, we even harmonized the rhythm guitar. We added a harmonization to the rhythm guitar and everything. So yeah, we're really pushing now. And we have the flute. Yeah, we have everything. This is a good way of doing a climax. So the climax in music, you're usually going to be in the last 1 to 2 minutes of your track, and you are going to want to bring back and explore and reuse as much of your material as possible. This is your big bombastic climactic moment. Take full advantage of it. Right now, we are having the entire ensemble playing. By the way, ensemble in music, that just means a group of musicians that is more than a solo artist. Even then, maybe a solo artist could be considered a one-man ensemble. Still, ensemble is usually what we just call, is the overarching term for a band or a trio or a quartet or an orchestra. These are all just ensembles. So yeah, let's see where this goes. It's really good. Slowing down the drums. Start finish. It's really good, yeah. Harmonized with the different instruments. Cadence and... oh, beautiful little breaks over there in the variations. Slowing down the drums and... it's a beautiful motif, yeah. One more and... what's it? And very subtle. Very subtle, but it's there. We put a harpsichord. We put a harpsichord in there. The harpsichord being another example of that instrumentation that just makes everything feel fancier, because the harpsichord is one of the predecessors of the piano. Oh my god, this is amazing. Let's see where it goes. Yep. And we end it with a half cadence. So, as I mentioned before, tension, resolution, cadence, right? When you're making music, cadence. However, the type of cadence we just did is called a half cadence. Half cadence is when you build the tension and you intentionally do not resolve it in that section, which gives you momentum. It gives you inertia. It allows for the cadence to be resolved in the following section, in the following track, or it allows for it to loop back to the start if the cadence would start in the same key, right? I've done this as well. Self-promotion time. Warning, this is orchestral melodic death metal. It's very intense music. You have been warned. But if you listen to my song Second Conquest by me, you will hear the ending, right? Like the very end, there's this massive build-up. It's like almost 30 seconds long, like more than 30 seconds long build-up. The orchestra's building up, the guitars are building up, there's a quote from Genghis Khan, it's super epic, and it reaches its climax and it doesn't resolve. But if then you listen to my song As We March, half cadence built to Second Conquest, As We March resolves it. It makes the landing there with the start of the next song. It's a fairly common tactic to use, especially in concept albums, where you're just telling one singular story kind of thing, right? So we use that, and with that, there you have it. Golden Nocturne, the instrumental from the Umineko When They Cry, or Umineko no Naku Koro ni soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Bastards LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you news. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, we're celebrating 10,000 subscribers, which thank you so much once again for that. 2 ways we're celebrating. Number 1, I am giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. Vintage Story! This used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. I honestly prefer it. I love this game so much, which is why I am going to be giving away 10 copies of this game. The giveaway is going to happen on the second half of February, and it's going to happen on the Discord server. So make sure that you've joined the Discord linked in the description to be able to join the giveaway. That's way number 1. Way number 2 that we're gonna celebrate, starting now with 10,000, every 5,000 subscribers, all the way to 100,000. We're gonna start checking out, like actually playing some of the games that we've covered on this channel. The first 2 are gonna be Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. We're going to play them during the after shows of the live stream, the gaming after shows. If you're watching this on the live stream, that's going to be next week. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, it's going to be on the week that these videos come out. So make sure that you join the live streams. And if you can't, don't worry. We have the gaming channel for the recordings. More on that in a second. So make sure that you join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first. Whether it is the streams going live, videos going up on the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. Of course, that's where we have the community, where we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, and where I host a Vintage Story community server. Vintage Story! I love the game so much that I built a computer just to host a server, right? So, linked in the description, join the Discord server today, become a member of our Discord community today. Also, share these videos with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are 2 very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share these videos with everybody that you know. Also, use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, linked in the description. So, yeah, go join, help the channel grow. Yes, artists, musicians are on YouTube or elsewhere. This is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills for any of your projects, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, the good old kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out, let me know, let's work together, let's make stuff, let's collaborate, right? And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that you would like me to collaborate with, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone, please do not spam anyone, be cool about things, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. If you're on the live stream, do not request just yet. And if you want to catch the stream, and if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So if you live in Casa de Piedra, which means stone house, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are bastard. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. The VODs, at least, recorded live during the main channel's after show. And the recordings go here. This is where the recordings for Just Shapes and Beats, Limbus Company, and whatever other games the VODs for them are going to go. So, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Bastard. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Golden Nocturne. I forgot the name of the game already, but it was really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.